Apparently, my mic was muted, and I was about to go through my spiel. But hello, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another Gamers Thoughts Live from me. I think I was kind of short with what I did yesterday, and I wanted to come back at this again. And really, after I had thought about it, it's just more or less there was some additional things I thought about, and I also thought about how Nintendo could have built this, or like they could have promoted this, where I think it wouldn't have actually bothered people even seeing the Hori headset. So I'm going to talk about that first because that's one thing that kind of sticks with me right this moment is just like I was thinking about it and like, okay, now if Nintendo did this, they offered voice chat through the Switch unit itself. If they offered voice chat through it and said, hey, we'll give you voice chat on the unit, and they may still actually do this. I don't know, but it's just currently there's no way telling that's what they're going to do. But they could say you're going to get voice chat through the Switch unit, but the quality of the chat will not be the best that it can, which is why we are providing you with this additional service the with the phone app that will allow you to use your phone and it won't hamper the bandwidth that's going toward the Switch to play the game, and the clarity will be much better, and it will also help dealing with lag issues. That's how I think that they could have gone about it, where people would not have been agitated by it. It was, yeah, everybody would still looked at the Hori headset, and like, this is a confusing design. I'm pretty sure that would have happened. But I also think that the Hori headset can be used without the little squid box thing there and just plug it directly into like your phone if you want to use voice chat that way. Or it can just be plugged directly into your Switch if you want to just get the sounds off of it. And the little box can like just be negated, period. And I think that's just so that they don't have, honestly, like looking at it, I think that's more or less so that they don't have, like, say, if you're going to use both at the same time, you don't have two permanent cords stuck to that headset. Like that gives it flexibility. At least that's my thinking about it. But like if I were designing it and I came up with this design, this would be the reasoning I would have behind it. I mean, again, the headset itself, the physical headset looks cool because I like the design of that. It was just the way the cords were shown in the graphic with like no real explanation, and there still isn't one. I think people are reacting too fast, but there's still not really an explanation of how it works. This is just me giving you guys my thoughts on how it would work and how it would look and what makes sense to me, from my perspective. And again, just thinking, like the headset has its own individual cord. It plugs into that little squid box that has two separate cords. One that obviously will plug into your Switch when it's close to you and you have it in handheld or tabletop mode, and then the one that will go into your phone, which would also be close by you anyway. So if just say for instance, you have your Switch in docked mode, you're not going to walk over to the Switch and stand next to it with it plugged into this headset and have the headset plugged into your phone. That's just idiotic. But you could probably take that little box off, plug your headset directly into your phone, and just use it that way. I still think that Bluetooth option is going to be available through the chat app because yeah, there are people who have iPhone 7s and that does not have a 3.5 millimeter jack on it. It just doesn't have it. Um, and that's unfortunate because on Apple's part, that was just kind of stupid. Because you have to go buy an adapter in order to be able to use a wired headset for it or wired headphones. That was just bad on Apple. But still, I think the Bluetooth option where you can just use any Bluetooth set will still be an option. But like, we have no explanation, as I've said before. There was no explanation given. It was just like a graphic, and here's a headset for the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be released alongside Splatoon 2. And like, and everybody's just like, well, damn, Nintendo, that's ugly as hell. What are you doing? Like, what are you thinking, Nintendo? And this is me trying to explain what I think that they're thinking, which I could be wholly wrong. I could be completely wrong, but it's just my thought process is if I'm going to design this, and this is what I have to do with it, I'm hoping that they made it so it's flexible and you don't have to route everything through that little box, because that would be what would actually kill the usability of this thing if you have to route it through that box, because people are going to just say, well, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. This is exactly what's going to happen. People are just going to say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all. But yeah. Yeah, metal people have been overreacting with incomplete information. Yeah, and it's going to happen because people are human. Humans decide, hey, I see something I don't like, and I'm immediately going to say something about it. It's just how we're built. Unfortunately, that's how we're built. A lot. There are some of us that will take each instance individually and say, okay, I'm gonna wait and see what's going to happen here. But we still have a little bit more than a month's time until Splatoon 2 comes out. So there's plenty of time between yesterday and then that they can explain this, that they can actually put some information out on it. But that's the point. That's the problem. Is just like the problem is that they didn't put enough information out. They just put out like Hori put out a graphic and with the headset and said, "Oh, this is what we're putting out, and it's $35." And then everybody was like, "What the fuck is this, Nintendo? Did you really do this?" And like, they didn't even think about the fact. Okay, yes, Hori works closely with Nintendo. They kind of have to in order to be able to make products that work with their devices. But at the same time, that was Hori's design. They did that. I mean, maybe Nintendo gave them some input, but Hori did that. That might not be the only option, as I've said before. Like, oh yeah. Yeah. People did swap note. That was a conundrum in and of itself. Like, man, I don't even want to talk about that one. But my basic point is, from just thinking about the way the headset is designed, how it looks, and what the app is supposed to do, the chat app is supposed to do. I just have a feeling that everybody jumped the gun like way too fast. And I even feel like I jumped the gun fast, telling people not to jump the gun ahead of time because I didn't fully think about the possible flexibility of this headset. I just looked at it and said, "Well, that's questionable. But let's wait and hear. Let's wait and see." I'm still holding to that. Let's wait and see. Let's have some patience and see what they're going to do. Let's see where this is going to lead. Like, because I'm pretty certain that there is a Bluetooth version of that headset that's going to be made. Maybe Hori isn't making it, but there's somebody out there probably like, okay, maybe there are people that don't want to do it at all. So it's just one of those things. One of those things. One of those things that I think, as gamers and as people, we just kind of ran with it and didn't give it a chance. It just ran right with it as soon as anything became available, any information became available, we ran with it. And that to me, I think, is our biggest mistake here. And now Nintendo's getting a whole lot of press for this. And there's a whole lot of attention's being drawn to it. And again, I have a feeling that people are going to be eating crow very soon. Like like people sitting down. Here's the best example from this year alone. Arms. Arms was previewed for just a few minutes during that conference that they had in January. And people were like, "Oh, this game looks like trash. They only have like 5 characters. They ain't gonna have a whole lot that you could do with it." And guess what? They put out the global test punch. And again, me being a logical person, I've been, like I said before, wait and see. The game looks like it has a lot of depth to it. Guess who the fuck was right? And I don't even have a damn Switch. Who was right and does not own the Switch? But I can tell you more about the damn thing than most people who have it can. That's some sad shit. Oh yeah, the online price. People, that was another goddamn thing everybody was mad about. Oh, I ain't gonna pay Nintendo $60 for no shitty service. Shit, what? Say that again. Then they gave estimates of what range it would be between $15 and $30, and they settled on 20 a year, a third of the price of Sony and Microsoft. A third of the price. And we don't know we don't even know exactly how this is going to improve their network and what it's going to do. But I can tell you this right now. I've had less drops on my Wii U as a free service than I've had on my Xbox One when it was paid. But that's just my experience, and other people have their own other experiences. Maybe my network setup is just a little bit more conducive to what the Wii U does, and for some other people's it isn't. It could be as simple as that. It is just how things are. I'm not denying anybody else's experience, but at the same time, I don't want everybody else's experience to be just painted over mine. Man. But this is also going to make people sit down and think about, if Nintendo service turns out to be really, really good, and we're going with like the Netflix of NES and Super Nintendo games, where you get it for a short period of time and you can play it online and all that stuff. And hey, you want to buy it and you can still play it online with your friends. But let's say Nintendo service turns out to be amazing. Like, it doesn't drop as much. There's not a whole lot of lag issues. The servers are running optimally. You're only paying $20 a year, $8 for 3 months. This is where you got to think about it. You are paying $5 more for a year of Nintendo's online service than you are for 3 months of Microsoft's online service. And people will say, well, you got to pay more for better quality. That is not necessarily true. Like, that's not necessarily true. That could be the case, but it's not necessarily true. Again, it all depends on how your stuff is set up in your house. I mean, I haven't dropped a whole lot on Xbox Live, but I've had more drops on Xbox Live than I've had on the Nintendo network. It's just what I'm saying. I've had more dropped games on Xbox Live than I have had on the Nintendo network. And Nintendo's was a free service overall. That's just from what I've seen from my experience. But I don't know. I just felt like I had to get this out because it was on my mind, and I just wanted to do this real quick. And I know this is the middle of the night, and not a whole lot of people will be willing to just come over to my channel and be like, "Hey, what's Andre doing? Oh, he's live streaming. Let's listen in." That's not going to happen. There's not a whole lot of people that are going to do that. I got a couple buddies in here, which I'm happy that y'all here, but but I know I'm not going to just like draw in big crowds. Now, not unless I decide to do something like really drastic. And I, at one point, was planning something really drastic. Then I thought better of it because I don't want to get views that way. But again, my stance is basically, let's chill out. Let's wait and see where things are going. Let's not assume that we know everything that's going to happen. Let's see where it's headed. Let's wait and find out. Like, that's literally all my stance is. Let's wait to get more information. Let's wait to see what other options are going to be available for us. Let's chill out. Like, Nintendo has done this with to everyone like at least 8 or 9 times over the last 2 to 3 years. It happened with Super Mario Land, not Super Mario Land, Super Mario 3D World. It happened with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It happened with Hyrule Warriors. It's happening right now with Fire Emblem Warriors. It's happening right. It happened with Arms. It, it happened with Splatoon. It's look at the history and pay attention to what they've done, and then think about how you're reacting immediately and how those reactions tend to fall short in the long run. Like I'm not gonna. I've been victim to it myself, which is why I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, there's got to be more to the situation than what we're just taking. Like you take it at face value. I'm like, where there's got to be some sort of nuance to this that they have not explained yet, and there's probably going to be that nuance that they give out that they explain to people that's going to draw people to it. That's going to make them want to just like take it and eat it up. I have that feeling. Like again, I could be completely wrong. I might be so wrong that this argument that I'm making right now could be completely and utterly obliterated. But look at my track record on the channel as guessing things that Nintendo would do overall. And you'll see I'm pretty damn accurate. Like I am pretty accurate for somebody who does not have any direct interaction with anyone with like major people in the industry. I don't have that. I know a few people who know other people in the industry who get perks from other people in the industry. I don't. I don't personally. I just know these people. But I have predicted their moves pretty damn well. And I'm kind of that's kind of one of those things. Like I can literally stamp that on my channel. Like that's an honest truth from my channel. Like I have predicted a lot of stuff Nintendo is going to do pretty well. Like if anybody wants to, over the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years. Like my channel's only like 4 years old. Over the last 2 to 3 years, I've kind of figured out Nintendo's pattern somewhat, and a lot of other people have. And this is why I kind of question why so many people jump the gun on this. Like because these are people who know Nintendo like the back of their hand. Like it's just like, is it that everyone's in an uproar, so you got caught up in it? Or did you just genuinely not understand this company anymore, even though you've played their games for years and you've followed them for years? And I've seen this from several people. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I would think at this point we should all be on the same page as far as Nintendo goes. Do not take anything that they first put out at its face value. Wait for more information. Just wait. That's it. Like, give your first thoughts, but wait for more information. But that's basically what I'm saying. That's my PSA for the day and the evening. Give your impressions, give your thoughts. I don't care if you rant, I don't care if you rave, I don't care if you're mad at them or not. But put the disclaimer in that you may be completely wrong. Just like I am. I may be completely, utterly wrong, and I could literally right this moment be talking out my ass. We won't know until more information is revealed. So I think just chill out, people. Like that's been my thing for the last day and a half. Chill out. Like go enjoy your arms global test punch. I know y'all run around with Twin Tail and her thickness. Like y'all just go ahead and enjoy that. Because not all of us can enjoy the satisfaction of beating the snot out of somebody else with somebody's hair. Okay? That sounds salty as shit right there. No, but seriously, just go ahead and enjoy what you have. Go enjoy your games. Don't get overly agitated. Don't go and just don't go and get upset over everything. Just don't get mad. Don't get agitated. Take your time. Well, I can't say don't get mad and don't get agitated because I just already said rant and rave all you want. But again, just put somewhere in there a disclaimer to say, look, this is just my initial impression. Things may be different. They may be. So I'm not going to stamp this. This is permanent. This is right. This is it. This is the thing. We don't have to do that. We don't. And I know I'm rambling, but there's a point to it. Like I don't want to peg myself as one of the most level-headed people and as far as Nintendo goes on YouTube. I'm probably not. I'm probably well off that train. I don't think I'm very level-headed about them. I might be for some people, but I don't personally think I'm very level-headed about them because I do fanboy out about Nintendo quite a bit, especially when they put out something that looks interesting and cool to me. I literally have two currently going video series that are dedicated to Nintendo's platforms, and a third one that I finished last year. So I might not be exactly Mr. Level Headed. Okay, I'm just going to basically again. I'm going to reiterate this point. I'm going to reiterate it a bunch of times. Chill out, wait and see. Calm down. Just take a step back, look at what has happened before, and then think about what you're doing right now. Oh, what's that? Remember this line. My 2 coins are to be read as such. Someone's 2 coins about the topic at hand. Huh. I think that's a pretty interesting quote. If at any point you disagree with it or agree, remember they are just my coins about said topic. And the value you have it will offer will differ from my own because of religion, upbringing, beliefs, and logic based upon your own experiences. I actually like that. I like that quote. Yin yang. I don't want to say your name wrong, but I think it's Yin Yang Yao, right? Don't assume my coins are the international equivalent for it may be considered a lesser value in the bank of public exchange. Thank you. Okay, so I did say it right. I look at it and I know how to say it mentally. Then for some reason it just slips when I speak. Like with Malik JC, I called him Malik, even though I knew it was Malik. It was like you slipped up on that. But whatever. I try not to do it, but it happens. But the basic point of his quote, if I'm interpreting this right, you see things one way, I see them another. But don't assume that the way you see it is the correct way. If I'm right. Because let's put it this way. I'm a person that subscribes to the thought process of there being multiple versions of the truth. There's the truth that you see, there's the truth that comes from other perspectives, and then there's the absolute truth of the situation. Most of the time, you're not going to get the absolute truth of the situation. You're just going to get truth from different perspectives. So somebody sees something one way, that's their truth. You see it a different way. That's your truth. Those two things are not the same, but that doesn't make one illegitimate in comparison to the other. If I'm saying that the best way, trying to say this the best way possible. I swear I feel like I'm slipping on something though. It's just like my words. I know I'm just like going overboard here with this. All right, but really, people just cool it, chill out, sit yourselves on a freaking, you know, damn it, what's the word? Oh, I was about to say refrigerator. Sit yourself on a cooler full of ice. Calm down. Don't need people just running around yelling and screaming all the time, or ranting and raving about something, or everything is just dire and bad and just ugh. Like, and this is coming from somebody who has an F-bomb video, who basically berated Capcom for what they're doing with Dead Rising. uh, I've put out some videos that are not so nice and not so friendly. Like, so that's just how I am. Like, and it's not because I'm being mean or malicious, but there are things that just like set me off automatically. So, like, and I've several times jumped the gun because I thought somebody was saying one thing, and then it turns out that they didn't mean it the way that they were saying it. I didn't remove those videos from my channel. They're there. They're there, and I've also put my corrections out behind those things, or when I've put out information that I know is incorrect. I didn't know it was incorrect when I put the video out, but hey, I went back and corrected myself. Those videos don't get as many views as the incorrect one, but it happens. Like, and I'm one of those people that's willing to admit that I'm wrong, or I've made a mistake. Oh, we saw that when someone used your stuff. No, I think what you're referring to is when someone said, "Oh, I had that idea," and their idea was basically a picture with some different power-ups, and it was only like a 7 or 8 second video, and it was a week before my fully thought out video. And I was like, that was like, you can't be serious. But again, this was a younger guy. He didn't mean it the way he put it out, but people don't realize context of the context of the words that they're using. I sometimes don't, and I'll admit that I'm only human. I try to make my context be correct, at least if I can express myself the way I mean to. And again, I know I'm rambling, and this has gone off of the subject of Nintendo and voice chat, but I try to express myself in a way that makes it easy to understand what I'm saying, and that I am very clear in what I mean. I know I don't always get that point across, especially when I'm rambling through my game ideas, because sometimes it's just like the thought is so beautiful in my head, but the words almost don't exist for it. So it's like I try to explain it. I try to explain it very well, but I might not be the best linguist out there. Who knew the power to talk could be so toxic? Oh, I knew that a long time ago. I knew that a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people before the internet knew that as well, because people can say things and it can just go wholly the wrong way because somebody misinterpreted something or they saw it the wrong way. Again, I'm no saint when it comes to that. Like, oh gosh, man, I've like been very mean and I was a jackass a couple times on my own channel. Like, and again, fully admitting that, because I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm not afraid to be incorrect, and I'm not afraid to make a mistake because I can learn from it. Which is what that's the bad thing is. That's the whole point I'm trying to get across, is that we're jumping the gun too soon, and we're not learning from it. It's like we jump the gun, get mad, get agitated, and then cool down. Then the same thing will happen though. It's like history just keeps repeating itself, and it's like nobody's learning from it. Or maybe people are learning from it, but they're just saying, well, this is a clean slate. I'm just going to say, forget everything that happened before. This is a completely fresh start every time, and I can't operate that way. I can't. It just don't work for me. Ugh. But I've rambled. I've talked and bounced off subjects constantly, and I thank you guys for the patience of actually sitting through this because this is a mess. But thank you guys very much for listening in. I'm going to get off because I've got some stuff I got to do. So thanks for chilling out with me, listening to me speak and ramble and jump around like a fucking I guess the best way to describe it would be bouncing around like a monkey in a tree full of bananas, and I can't figure out which batch I want. Like, so I'm just jumping to each and every one to pick a different fucking banana from. That is a way too long fucking analogy. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out. Y'all have a nice time playing ARMS.